Hey guys, I wanted to talk about some things. So, I have been designing characters and creating OCs for about 15 years, give or take. And one of the things that has always bothered me is the term Mary Sue. Now, I don't really want to jump on the bandwagon. Almost everybody talks about Mary Sue's. I understand. It gets really tiresome hearing the same things over and over again. But I did feel like I need to put in a little bit of my own input here. Mainly saying, I don't care if you think my OCs are Mary Sue's. I've gotten a few comments in the past on certain videos where people are like, OMG, that's a Mary Sue. Personally, how can you tell? The term Mary Sue was originally coined to refer to an overly perfect character who has no personality flaws or anything of that nature. You really can't tell a character based on their design as far as flaws go. So I don't understand the constant wanting to police other people's OCs. And I think that's where I end up having a problem with these people. It's not so much that they think my OC is a Mary Sue or that they think anyone's OC is a Mary Sue. It's the fact that they think they need to police other people. Who cares if you make a Mary Sue? Really? Who cares what you do as far as characters go? Characters are something that comes from your heart. And if they're not perfect, if they're not written well, that's fine. You know, you don't have to look at, watch, or read other people's OCs. If you like them, great. I am more than happy to share my characters with everyone. And if you guys love them, that is so fine for me. I love to show my characters and I love to have other people interact with them. But I'm not going to change my way of designing, my way of creating characters to appease other people. Because ultimately, I don't make them for other people. I make them for myself. Now, of course, when I design and adopt, that's another thing. I always take into account a lot of different things. But, you know, the adopts that I design the most, that most people would call a Mary Sue, tend to be the ones that get sold the quickest. And they also tend to be the ones that people like the most. I think we've gotten it in our heads that we have to keep ourselves from doing certain things because it's socially inaccurate for a character, creator to have such a character. When I think that everybody should be open to try every type of character. Another one of the things that I hear a lot that bothers me is your character should never be overpowered. I think that is incorrect. And the reason why is when it comes to story writing, you're going to want to have a couple of characters in certain positions be more powerful than the rest of the group. And that being said, even your main character can be quote-unquote overpowered for their world if it plays into the story. And that's the important part. And that's the thing that I notice the most with these people who try to police others' OCs. They don't understand how the characters fit into the story that they are in. Now, you can have a poorly fitting character that just does not work, and that's fine. If that's what you want, obviously, those of you who are going to be taking this more seriously are going to want those critiques to expand your ability at creating better characters, and that, I think, is also great. But, there are a lot of people out there who create characters not because they want to write a story or they want to be some sort of amazing creator. A lot of the time these people create these characters because it's something personal to them. And when you go around telling them that they're wrong it can feel like a personal attack to them. I personally don't care. When somebody criticizes one of my characters, my usual response is, that's fine if that's, what you want to say. I don't really care. And I know that a lot of people are going to say, but you're making a video about it. Obviously you care. It's not really that. I'm more trying to give out information to everyone. I don't in the least bit feel slighted by people who, call my characters Mary Sue's. To me, it just really doesn't matter because I make them for myself. But those of you who do, understand that when somebody calls your character a Mary Sue, a lot of the time what they're telling you is not that they think you're a horrible person. They're not personally attacking you. They personally don't like that style of OC. And I think a lot of us need to switch over from calling characters Mary Sue's or bad characters to saying, I don't like this personally about this character. That leaves it open for the person who you're critiquing to say either, well, I'm sorry that you think that, but I like it this way, or, oh, hey, you're right, maybe I should change the character. So the point being is I feel like it's a lot of hurt feelings on both sides. Somebody will get angry at their character being called a Mary Sue, and then the person that they get angry with lashes back out, and then you end up with a huge fight over a character that should be something personal and good for the person who has it. So I guess ultimately what I am trying to say to you guys is, if you don't like somebody's character, that's fine. Give them a proper critique on it. Don't just use the shorthand, it's a Mary Sue. I really don't like that term because I feel like it makes people lazy. Tell the person what you don't like about the character. Say, for instance, you find a rainbow character, which, by the way, I have a whole bunch of them, and oh my god, I love them. But say you find somebody who has a character who has rainbow hair, and you think that that's a little too much in the character. Instead of telling them it's a Mary Sue, say, I personally think that this design would look better with less colors, or I don't personally like rainbow in the hair. It may be a bit too much to look at. And that's fine. That way you are not going to trigger them to instantly fight you. And I think this goes with a lot of arguments that start. People don't realize that the way you speak to someone, what words you actually say, can vastly impact how the person is going to respond to you. And as such, I've always been the type of person who constantly watches what I say and makes sure that everything that I type and or say gets across the meaning that I intend. Because being lazy with your words is a recipe for disaster. And I guess that's just about all I wanted to talk about. It's just something that kind of popped into my head while I was sitting there scrolling through some older comments, and I ran across one on one of my old videos about, somebody saying this character is an OC, and there was a huge argument amongst a bunch of different people. Some were saying you shouldn't tell the artist that their character is a Mary Sue because that's a bad thing to do, and then other people were going, oh, but the characters have rainbow hair, they're obviously Mary Sue's, and I just kind of am ambivalent to the entire thing. I don't really care. But there were other people in the comments who were obviously upset by it, and personally, my viewpoint on it is if you critique my work, I'm not likely to pay any attention to it, honestly. Because I personally like my things the way I like them. I have my own sense of style. I don't really like to conform to what other people want me to do. And that can sometimes make me less than popular as far as what I do character-wise. But I digress. Just know that I'm not probably going to pay attention to it, so it's kind of a moot point anyways. But if you feel like you need to, go ahead. I don't care. And like I said a little bit ago, that's about all I want to say. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to be adding a random speed paint onto this later. I recorded this video, or this audio, separate. So, I'll talk to you guys later, and bye!